This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of the greatest tournaments in Africa. Finding the best teams, the best talent, and which players are good enough to train at the Manchester United Soccer Schools camp. If you're out there, we'll find you.
Hi and welcome to Airtel Football. It is often referred to as one of the world's most well-run footballing leagues. A strapline that says it all. Good, better, Bundesliga. Each year, since 1963, 18 clubs have battled it out for the ultimate honors in Germany's top flight. And over the years, it has become the benchmark for how a league should be run. It is Germany's premier football competition and operates on a system of promotion and relegation, much like most leagues worldwide. In its almost 50-year history, a total of 51 clubs have competed in the Bundesliga, with FC Bayern Munich winning it an unprecedented 21 times. Most prominent amongst other Bundesliga champions are Borussia Dortmund, Hamburg SV, Werder Bremen, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and VfB Stuttgart. Based on recent European performances, the Bundesliga is the #1 football league in the world in terms of average attendance. Out of all sports, its average of 45,134 fans per game during the 2011-2012 season was the second highest of any sports league in the world. Unlike other countries, in Germany, a unified national football league structure was quite late in developing. The Bundesliga was not formed until 1963. It was originally founded by the German Football Association, but is now operated by the Deutsche Football League.
We have a tremendous increase concerning spectators. At the moment we have an average 42,000 spectators per game. So we've got the most spectators of all the soccer leagues in the world. That's something we are very proud of. And one reason for this development are the new stadiums. And we think we're very happy about this development.
As a model of professionalism the world over, the Bundesliga has also opened its doors to some of Africa's footballing leagues. In 2011, in what has become a mutually beneficial partnership for two footballing leagues at either ends of the Atlantic Ocean, officials from the German Bundesliga paid a visit to Nairobi to unveil the next phase of an already successful relationship with the Kenyan Premier League.
We have a real good cooperation and partnership for a few years now with Supersport. Supersport is a brilliant partner to the Bundesliga, but this partnership not only contains the TV or broadcasting rights. It's more. It's about supporting Supersport by supporting important Premier Leagues in Africa, especially the Kenyan Premier League. And on the same side, Supersport is supporting us by promoting the Bundesliga. Which hasn't been done for many years, and for this reason this is a wonderful triangle between Supersport, KPL and Bundesliga, to build up success for all of us, and out of this wonderful cooperation and partnership has happened.
Within the span of 1 year, officials from the Kenya Premier League have seen firsthand how the Bundesliga works and how the German league's business model through the Deutsche Football League has influenced the growth of the game at all levels.
In Germany, we had, in the past 5 years, we had 4 different champions. And champions with clubs which haven't been so well recommended worldwide, like Wolfsburg, for example, like Stuttgart. Of course, Bayern Munich was 2 times involved in the championship. And last year, Borussia Dortmund, with a very young, enthusiastic and ambitious and talented team.
This time around, it was time for the Bundesliga to visit Kenya and to see not only what has been implemented, but perhaps to learn from the KPL as well.
Our interest is, as I said, to tell the important and relevant people how we handle our business. It's an example, yes, how we handle it. It might be a good example, as it is working in Germany quite well. And that's the reason why we came to Nairobi, had the workshop with the KPL coaches, where one of our managers from Eintracht Frankfurt, who's responsible for the youth academy, explained how the youth academy system in Germany is working. The other part, the workshop with the media people, was also to inform them how we manage the Bundesliga, how the Bundesliga is structured, to give them also the idea or the information what our daily business is, where the reasons are why we are, let's say, so successful in the past years.
A series of workshops took place in Kenya's capital. Workshops designed to improve the quality of football in the country. After all, there is no question about the amount of emphasis put on development at all levels within the German game.
Yeah, I'm talking about our program in Frankfurt, Frankfurt Eintracht in Germany. We are one of the top 10 youth programs in Germany, and I explained our philosophy, our structures, and our idea of developing young players to my colleagues, the coaches here in Kenya. And I hope, and that was our goal here, that we can give some input into the Kenyan football development of young players.
I think we have gained so much in this short time, because it has given an insight on what a club needs to be done. Because most of the things here we are doing are not permanent. We are depending on yearly things. Now that's why clubs, you find a club this year is very strong, next year is very weak, because maybe it has lost 2-3 players and it doesn't have any supporting players to come. So with these kind of programs, when they are being built in a club, then it will emphasize you can build a program for even 10 years. And your club, each and every time, it will be strengthened by the young players who are coming in the system. Now also you have a coaching philosophy. What do you want your team to play like? But most of the time you are finding it is the players who detect how you are playing. Because this year you are fast players, next year you didn't have good players, you are slow players, the game changes. But with this kind of a program, it will give you a culture of play. So I think it will help if we can get sponsorship where each team will have a serious youth team in place.
For anybody to take up a model from outside their country, I think you have to look at the successful model, and given that Europe's governing body is taking it from the Germans, yes, let us take it from there and look at our situation. Where the Germans are is something that has been running for 40 years, the licensing system, the strict governance. Let us learn from them and see, where do we start? You can't, how would I say, you can't actually start walking at 6 months old. You first have to crawl, and if you have to adapt something, then make sure you adapt and it fits into your situation. And so, yes, let us speak from the Germans, but let us also learn and see how we can incorporate the good things we have to grow our league.
The visit was capped off with a football clinic in Huruma, the home of Mathare United Football Club. A real treat for the country's budding stars.
Yeah, I'm here because of an invitation from the DFL, the German Football League. And we had yesterday a workshop with coaches from Kenya, all over Kenya. And I told them how everything about youth youth development in Germany, and especially in our club in Frankfurt. And today we do a little practice here on this ground with the little kids, chosen kids. I think it's 35.
This also combined with visits from officials and stakeholders of Kenya's football to Germany, and included a visit to one of the world's most impressive and well-run football stadiums. Guests included sports journalists, MultiChoice East African Managing Director Stephen Iseboke, Daniel Wahome of the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, and Kenya Sports Minister Paul Otuoma. It was kicked off with a full-day workshop in the German League headquarters in Frankfurt, getting a handle on not just the functioning of one of the world's most well-run footballing leagues, but an insight into development and infrastructure. For Kenya Sports Minister, it was an eye-opening experience.
So to me, this has really been an eye-opener. Other than just the amateur bit of it, which costs money, it needs to be supported somehow. And the only way you can support, if you have this other component that is commercial, and it makes money, and it is able to plow back part of those earnings to the amateur component of it. And that's the way it is clearly, demarcated here.
After visiting two of the country's most established youth academies in Eintracht and the small but football-mad city of Kaiserslautern, it was time for a visit to what has been referred to as the most modern football facility in the world. The Allianz Arena, located in the north of Munich, has become not just a remarkable football facility, but also an incredible landmark for the city itself. And with a few hours before the main event, there was just enough time to have a look around. The magnificent structure has a seating capacity of almost 70,000, which includes 2,000 business seats, 400 seats for the press, and 106 luxury boxes. Inside, the mini village offers 3 daycare centers, 2 fan shops, and the FC Bayern Munich megastore. Another example of exemplary infrastructure at work in the German Bundesliga. One of the many ideas that the Kenyan contingent took home with them.
We are really very proud to have this spectacular stadium. I tell you, you have to, when you're leaving the match tonight, you have to go outside and take pictures because the stadium is illuminated. When you're coming in now, the complete stadium is white. When you're going out tonight, everything is red, spectacularly red, and we have the chances to make it in blue, in white, and in red.
It was almost game time, and the stands, as always, were filled to capacity. With the Champions League berth at stake for Bayern, the atmosphere, well, perhaps we should hear from a first-time visitor to Munich's Allianz Arena.
Our experience has been very good. We interacted with the DFL guys and they've made us know a few things that maybe if we use back home, it can really improve Kenyan football.
I'm so honored. I mean, I've been covering sports for almost 10 years now, and I've visited many stadiums. I've watched football played in many places, but I can tell you the German experience totally blows it off. Yesterday I was at Kaiserslautern, and I saw the crowd. Imagine that stadium, that town only has 100,000 people, yet the capacity of the main stadium is 50,000, and they filled the stadium, and it was so electrical. And I was saying, wow, these German guys love their football. Then here I am at Allianz Arena. I think it's probably one of the best stadiums in the world.
When we return to Airtel Football, we take a look at one of Germany's most unique and impressive football clubs. Stay where you are.
rising stars. One of the greatest tournaments in Africa. Finding the best teams, the best talent, and which players are good enough to train at the Manchester United Soccer Schools Camp. If you're out there, we'll find you.
Welcome back to Airtel Football. Germany's love affair with African footballers began to boom in the mid-80s, when players like Senegal's Souleymane Sané appeared at Nuremberg. He scored 51 times between the late 80s and the early 90s, playing for both Nuremberg and Wattensheide. He was, and still is, Wattensheide's top scorer in the Bundesliga, with 39 goals. Togo's Bachirou Salou made 253 Bundesliga appearances for 5 clubs between 1990 and 2003, scoring 51 goals and winning the DFB Cup in '95 with Borussia Mönchengladbach. Nigeria's J.J. Okocha and Ghana's Anthony Yeboah stood out in the mid-90s, as they were Eintracht Frankfurt's West African tag team during their reign. Yeboah even had his own fan club called Yeboah Witnesses. Sami Kufor also made his mark in Germany's top-flight league as a defender with the Bundesliga's most successful club, Bayern Munich, and with a Champions League crown, he is the winningest African footballer to play in Germany. Other great Africans include Ghana's Anthony Baffour and South Africa's Sean Dundee. Currently, there are a number of standout Africans plying their trade in German football. And one club that has attracted many over the years is FC St. Pauli. This is a different kind of club. A club that enjoys a certain fame for the left-leaning character of its supporters. Most of these fans regard themselves as anti-racist, anti-fascist, and anti-sexist, often bringing them into conflict with neo-Nazis and hooligans at away games. The organization surrounding the club has adopted an outspoken stance and has embodied this position in its constitution. Team supporters traditionally participate in demonstrations in the Hamburg district of St. Pauli.
The fans are very creative and interested in singing and create new songs, and they give many support to the club, and normally it's not so important if the club wins or loses or loss. Main interest is that they were fighting and giving, as you say in German, das letzte Hemd geben. Kämpfen, fighting.
All your friends, all the neighborhood, when you go to the bakery, go shopping, everybody talks about this, and you have fans from Hamburger SV and you have friends from St. Pauli on the other side, and all sitting in the same bar, but in this case they all think for their team and go with their team, yeah.
What is so special? Because it's a very small club. It's the Rebels in Hamburg. It's the club with no money. It's the club with the punks. It's the club with the freaks. And it's cool. And no matter which league, you know, we're playing first division this year, we're playing second division next year, we're playing third division next year. We don't care, we have fun.
This is truly a club of the people, and a club that includes its supporters in almost everything they do.
The fans has asked us to bring special materials in the stadium before the normal opening of the stadium, because they want to make big choreographies with a lot of different flags and paper rolls and everything like that. So we have to allow that to them, but to organize, okay, there are 30 people coming this way 3 hours before the match and the others come this way and all these things.
We write about stories that normal media are not writing about. So stories written by fans for fans to write about the fans' views on specific topics like kick-off times, like stadium reconstruction, like stands and so on.
St. Pauli is also a worldwide symbol for punk and related subcultures.
We are a part of this quarter. We're after St. Pauli at the most, we want to look to the people in this quarter, want to be together with the quarter, and the politics. We're anti-fascists, we're against sexism and homophobia. I think that's so special because this is our life. It's not only a sign, it's part of our life.
The Totenkopf logo and the team's brown and white football are a true symbol of anti-establishment, something unseen in footballing circles elsewhere in the world.
Right, this is a VIP box. It's looking like a chapel, but it isn't a chapel. It's just a VIP box of an advertising company, and it's designed like a chapel, don't know why, with the former team, the 2 years ago team on the wall, and the roof like the Finch Chapel, and with all these things you can find in every church. It's a little bit crazy, but yeah, advertising people are sometimes crazy.
This is what makes the club so special and supporting it so different, almost like a close-knit family.
It's the pride is the culture and the history and all the fan base.
That's it. So if you're a St. Pauli supporter, you're not actually going for the football there. It's the being together is the traditional values. And even when we were playing in the third league up to 4 years ago, we had 20,000 visitors here. So and still around Germany, about 2 or 3 million supporters.
The love and passion for this club runs so deep by its supporters that there are over 200 registered St. Pauli FC fan clubs and countless unofficial fan clubs as well. The club also prides itself on having the largest number of female fans in all of German football. And for each home game, the 27,000-seater Melintor Stadium comes alive with some of Europe's most unique supporters. But for St. Pauli FC, it's not just about getting 3 points each week. In fact, it's not even just about soccer. There is also a strong belief in community development for this club. You would expect nothing less.
When we built a new stadium, the government said we have to close this corner to protect the people living behind the stadium of the noise. Then we said, what can we do with the corner? Then we decided that in the first 2 floors there will be a kindergarten opened in next November. So 120 kids will go there every day in their normal kindergarten inside our stadium. So it's a good school for life. And in the last floor there is the police sitting and the private security, the fire brigade and the speaker of the stadium. So it's all in this corner.
And when it is about soccer here at St. Pauli FC, it's all inclusive. This is by far one of Europe's most unique football clubs. But then again, how could it not be? St. Pauli Football Club is simply a true reflection of the legions of its supporters. That's all the time we have for in this edition of Airtel Football. Thanks for watching and see you next week.
This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.